Welcome to game number 2 of 3DB versus 3D Dark in Golden League 2. This is the kicking off first weekend of the main event, and we got 2 clan members with a big showdown. Of course, B was able to pick up a point in game number 1, and this is a best of 3, so that makes it match point. Can B close this out playing as the Abbasid Dynasty, who got a lot of updates here in Season 4. Versus the Ottomans. And I will say, you know, I play a ton of Abbasid. This is one of the hardest matchups for the civilization, in my opinion. So I'll be watching B closely. He's a very good player and probably has some tricks up his sleeve. And I'll see how he's able to best the Ottomans, because they can be a force to be reckoned with. B doing the sheep opening. For some of you wondering if you should be goofing around with berries or anything in the Dark Age, here you have it. B going for the classic sheep opening. 7 on sheep, 3 on gold. Over on the other side of the map, Dark did open with a Dark Age military school, so we'll be coming over here to harass with his spearmen. Now, one thing to note, when you're harassing Abbasid early on, their buildings, thanks to the House of Wisdom, once he completes this, they get the House of Wisdom influence, so they have +5 fire armor, meaning it takes longer to siege down a mining camp than for other civilizations. So it's not a huge deal for the Abbasid, but you can usually push them off of gold with some of these initial spearmen. So let's see what house or which wing B decides to age up with. Of course, these days, House of Wisdom got a huge update, so you have to really watch to see what they go for. Okay, he went for the Culture Wing. So the Culture Wing is going to give you access to Preservation of Knowledge. Now, this isn't a new tech. They actually reduced how much it gives you a discount. It used to be 30%, but now it also applies to age up. So this is going to make his age up a lot cheaper going into the castle age, and a lot of times you see the strategy used with a fast castle. Now, doing a fast castle versus Ottomans could be a little tricky, so we'll see how he pulls this one off, but he might also use it just for the cheaper techs to grab some other upgrades. This is actually the wing I used the last time I tried versus Ottomans, but I lost because I'm a noob. Okay, so Dark coming in with the spearman. Looks like he's coming on the wrong side. Has he scouted? So he hadn't scouted the gold. So he kind of took a blind chance that the gold might be here. And now he has to walk all the way around the other side if he's going to harass. Now he can harass the berries, which B is just now going to. And if you take a look at his macro here, he only has 3 on food at the moment. Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh, it wasn't counting those ones. Yeah, because they were building. Okay, so now he's got it. Yep. So we got 5 on food. I was like, that was a little weird. Going for the wheelbarrow in transition. So he is going to go for the wheelbarrow here pretty early on. On the other side of the map, nothing too crazy for the Ottomans. He's got 2 on gold still, building that twin minaret madras for that berry landmark. And he's got a house and lumber camp. So nothing too crazy there. And the wheelbarrow. Culture Wing about to come in. I do think this is probably going to be some kind of fast castle play. Just kind of curious how he's going to pull it off here versus likely, you know, an aggressive Ottoman opponent. But I'm curious, these two might have they might have been practicing against each other. Since they are clan members, it could be very likely that they could have an idea of what the other player might be going for. B going to be dropping down to archery range to try to stop the spearman as he takes that little harassment with his villagers. Dark just kind of poking in and out there. This costs B idle time, right? So these villagers aren't working, they're not gathering resources. This slows him down. There's that Culture Wing. Look at it. Now, players are going to have to get a little better at memorizing where the wings are on the House of Wisdom, because you can't just click on it and see. No, the Culture Wing is on the northeast side and has this big tower on it. So this is what the Culture Wing looks like. You're often going to see either the Culture Wing or the Eco Wing early on, maybe military, but those are the 3 ones you're going to really want to know the difference. Okay, so archery range is down. He is getting that Preservation of Knowledge tech, by the way. Costs 50 wood and 125 gold. Did he get fresh foodstuffs? He has not grabbed that yet. So fresh foodstuffs been moved to the town center. And the biggest thing with that being in the town center, that means you have to not train a villager for 20 seconds and you have to get that tech instead. And it only gives a 35% discount now. Going for stone, quite interesting. B, looking like maybe he'll go for probably another town center here, despite not going for the economic wing. Maybe this was a fake out, the Culture Wing, or maybe he's using it for these techs, which he's going to get as the game goes on. But he did research preservation of knowledge. Very interesting. Or something he scouted maybe influenced his decision. I mean, there's an archery range over here. There's a military school. Probably some pressure coming from the Ottomans soon. And he's now going for some more stone himself, but that could be just for the military schools. You hear that sound going off. That's the vizier points for the Ottomans. We do not have it on the UI yet. Someday they will unlock that technology, but today is not that day. Keep watching to see when he goes for the preservation of knowledge. So a lot of players might go with the eco wing if they're going for multi-town centers, because there's this new tech right here, the Fertile Crescent, which reduces the cost of all of your economic buildings by 25%. That includes town centers, houses, mining camps, etc. Town center being the key thing. He's working. He did get that that golden age. He just now unlocked that, so that's what we see there. Okay, going for a second town center now. Dark sees this. He might have originally thought there was going to be a fast castle. I don't know if that was a bluff. He is going for some of these techs which are cheaper, but I don't feel like he's really gotten a whole lot of value out of that preservation of knowledge. He got his wheelbarrow before preservation knowledge came in, and still hasn't gone for the the fresh foodstuffs. Okay, right now watch out! We got villagers under shots from the berries. Gotta watch out. Okay, he runs back. Okay, so we've got B retreating to the sheep underneath his town center, as we have a town center drop to the south, but archers are there! He's just gonna pull off one villager at a time, but his town center under a little bit of fire. Oh no. Uh-oh, could be in some trouble. Could be in some trouble. Archers coming to meet him though, so he should be okay. A lot of action here early on. Okay, so Ottomans, of course, bring in military pressure as they always do. We see a stick. Now, interesting. Look at this. Is that in the influence? Can I really not see it? It looks like it is. It must be just touching the corner of it. Is the way he built this. It must be. Wow, that's crazy. Can't believe he got it. So 2 military schools, archery ranges, and a stable. He was able to get his second town center down. He secured the deer, gold, and some wood. So that's a pretty good town center placement. Has berries not far behind it. Even like a wall here, you know, could secure some of these resources. But in comes the Ottoman army. And I feel like the clocks are ticking a little bit. When you see Absid is on 2 TCs. And look at this. He did go for the Imam, so he's going for the area of effect healing. Picking off some villagers right now with the archers. 2 villagers go down. A nice pick. He went for the low HP ones. He actually was able to grab 3 villagers there. A massive raid for Dark. Now, just to point out, the build that we saw here is he went up to the second age, dropped an archery range, stayed on gold. He did get wheelbarrow. He finally just now got the fresh foodstuffs, by the way. So that had to be like within the last minute. And he did also get his lumber upgrade. Keeping those 3 on gold throughout. He has not moved those gold villas. And he dropped down a second town center. Now we see 2 stables kind of hidden there on the back line of that that wood. I don't know if he's actually trying to hide it or just trying to connect everything for his House of Wisdom. Also has an archery range as well. Okay, coming in for another raid. Will we lose more villagers? Comes underneath the town center. Archers taking shots. Picks off a low HP villager. That's a total of 4 villagers have been picked off so far. Dark getting some high value raids. And then he's falling back and healing with his Imam. That's what we see going on here. Wow. Chat saying 354 stone lucky. I don't think there's any luck has anything to do with that there. If I was a bet man. So one of his vizier points that the Ottomans get over time, he used it to send in 2 imams. So he brought him to the front line and he's healing up. They get an area of effect heal. And now he's dropping down the ram. So he did go for that ram technology there, siege engineering, and is going to be going after this forward town center. Okay, so this is going to get a little interesting there. Rams, is he going to... I'm assuming he's going to target that town center. So Dark really pushing this pressure. B, you know, he's got his 2 TCs, but he's hemorrhaged villagers a little bit. He lost 4 vills. He actually changed. I don't know what he was originally building there. I thought it was a stable or archery range or something, but he did change it to a blacksmith. So going to go for some of those military techs as we see these troops moving in. Now keep an eye on these military numbers. 16 archers for Dark, 13 for B. He is a defender's advantage. but he needs to be careful how he plays this. Villagers coming forward to attack the ram. Going to jump back in the town center and take shots at Sabahi. Of course, he's got area healing, not to mention the Metter providing a range defense for all of his units. So, losing a few villagers there. Sabahi running in. One villager goes down, another one low HP. Will he grab that one? The ram's coming out, getting hit by the villagers, but the villagers retreat back inside as the archers surround him. Picking off a few more villagers along the way. We've lost a total of 10 villagers for B, and this is looking very good for Dark. I gotta say, this is exactly how my games as Abbasid look. I try everything under the sun against Ottomans, and it just never matters. Can B hold on? Is this a calculated loss to lose these villagers? As we see the Rams go down. Military count, not massively different right now. But we still have that Metter is alive. One of the Imams was picked off, picking a few more villagers off. Now a total of 17 villagers have been killed. I mean, look at the villager count right now. How is B going to be able to recover from that? That is absolutely massive. But the Metter does go down. He loses that speed boost and loses that additional ranged armor. And we see him backing up just a little bit there. Still maintaining the superior military numbers. He'll probably train that Metter back. He is still healing up with that Imam. But what is not going on here is B's economy. He just lost a total of 18 villagers. That's just really massive in any matchup. But he does have 2 TCs, so he could try to boom back in this. He would have to take an extremely favorable military trade, or perhaps perform a raid on some of these villagers that are out on the deer down in the south. Looking at the Ottomans base for Dark, we see another military school being dropped down. So he used one of those military vizier points to get that. So he went for the Imams and the Metter first, followed by the additional military school as far as spinning his vizier points goes. And we see the Spahi going for another raid. This is just a bonus raid. He's already done so much damage. He's just trying to pick off anything he can find back there. He runs through. He can kind of see like, okay, well, they actually had a lot of gold gathered there. B did go for his fertilization tech, right? But I think it's horticulture is what the tier 1 is called. Yeah, it doesn't show each one of them. Sabahi though, getting another raid. Does he pick up another villager? He does have textiles, so he has an additional 25 HP, which actually saved that villager here today. But B is very much surviving right now. But Dark will know over time, B will be able to boom back into this. Dark dropping down a ram of his own. Archer's doing the ram dance. Another Metter is out on the field, so he does have that buff that is able to provide. Just trolling around with Spearman, trying to see if anything's going on. Of course, he's got, just look at this, so smart. One Sabai just watching the berries to make sure nothing fancy happens here. Currently, the score is 1-0 in favor of B, so this would be massive if Dark could get some points on the board. It is a best of 3, so moving on in with his archers, gets a shot off on those horsemen, picks off a few villagers as well. Of course, the Metter providing additional ranged armor for them. That's what he's doing, so they're banging on that drum. We got the horseman flank coming in. Gets a little bit of a surround on the Sabahi. His archers did flank back behind the town center, and he has defender's advantage. Not a bad military trade there for B. He was able to pick off some troops, keep most of his archers alive. He's just trying to use that town center, and he's going to pick off the Metter. Loses that buff. That is a nice pickup for him. And look at the villager count. He's starting to stabilize despite losing all these villagers. He is starting to boom back since he is on 2 town centers. And now Dark, looking like he's on a bit of a retreat. B having a pretty good defensive trade there. Watch out, don't want to lose more villagers here. But maybe the villagers are just cannon fodder so his archers can win the battle. He's going to stand and take that fight because his town center is laying down the pain. And I don't know if Dark realized, but yeah, his Metter is gone. He's losing a lot there. Wow, a good engagement for B, all things considered. All the action for this game has been like right here. This is the battleground. They've drawn the lines. Wood, plenty of wood left for him to gather. Of course, he is gathering towards the front line. Sabahi going for a flank to the north, but not going to see a whole lot, but they might get some of these villagers. He's going to back up. No spearmen yet out of B. It's been entirely archers and a few horsemen. Dark has a low HP battering ram. His archer's sitting idly right now. He is gathering from the berries to the north of his town center expansion. A few villagers being pushed off the berries on his original town center. Trying to keep that horseman alive. These micros back. Archers take some shots. You know, a singular camel could help debuff those, but they are quite expensive, and B You know, maybe just not wanting to have one right now. And this is kind of what I wanted we would see, some counter raiding, and that's exactly what's going on. 2 villagers were picked off by B over here. As right now, it looks like he's distracted. This horseman probably could run away. But back at his base, B's able to pick off the rest of that raid. And military numbers starting to get close. Villager gap starting to get close. B's still in this one, guys. Under immense pressure. Okay. Right now, we've got villagers going to the gold. Is he trying to slap down some... He's already got all his techs. This is for aging up. Okay, so Dark is transitioning towards Castle Age as we see so many villagers going to gold. But what that's going to mean is if B continues his military production at max, he could really have a good push here. It could be a win of opportunity. But, yeah, it's a calculated strategical decision, of course. B gonna be able to pick up another raid here. 4 horsemen coming in, gonna get up on those villagers. Villagers do have textiles as well, so they have 75 HP. He's able to pick off looks like 1 villager, and then maybe gonna run away, or is he gonna stay and take this fight? At the front, we got Sabahi moving in along with the archers, rams as well. Looks like he is going to pick off 1 more villager there. Okay, so 4 villagers have gone down, but look at that villager count getting close. You never would have thought. And military count increasing. This is the power of Abbasid as time goes on. He's getting the advantage of his villagers only cost 32 food. They used to cost 25 with fresh food stuffs, but only 32 food. And he has superior military and economic numbers. Now there are 3 rams coming in here. So if B can have a good fight here, this could be a turning point for him. Istanbul Imperial Palace being dropped back in the base for the Ottomans. Villagers being pulled to the rams. Of course, they have torches. They're the best unit for taking out rams. Take down the low HP ram. Townsend still alive. The Metter goes down, so he does not get any ranged buff. And right now, B's army looking like it could take this, losing several villagers, of course, as the villager fatalities climb. But army-wise, it's looking like he's going to take this fight. The ram finishes off, the villagers finish off what's left of the ram, and B now having the military force. So Dark decided to age up, and that's costing him right now his ability to win a fight like this on the front line. And now, for the very first time this game, B is surging out. He has superior military numbers. Villas, he lost a few, but he'll boom back onto those. Losing 1 actually there to the north. That one Sabahi that was chilling there finally paying off. Your Vizier point coming in as Dark reaches the next age. Now, he did go up with the Istanbul Imperial Palace. So if you're not familiar with this landmark, a lot of time you do see the siege landmark. This allows you to get 2 additional Vizier point limit. So you can get more of those Vizier points, and it makes it so all the buildings connected around it get double the experience. So he's going to get more Vizier points out, get some of those techs, some of mostly helping the military schools for most of those. But right now we got a decent fight here for Dark. He gets the Sabahi in there, quite good against archers. Archers flanking back right now. B knows his opponent hit the castle age, and he is nowhere close to aging up. And another thing with the Abbasid, since they age up at their House of Wisdom, there's no like panic age ups. There's no like, oh shit, I need to slap down a landmark with 20 villagers. You can't do that. It's just a slow burn when you try to age up. So he's going to be facing off against man-at-arms and crossbows and knights and siege. But for right now, Vizier points seem to be the interest since he went with the Istanbul Imperial Palace. Man, what a game this has been. Of course, raids everywhere. We can't catch every single raid. But B, going after those villagers, as you see, he's trying to even the odds. It's very close. He's going to be able to pick off 1 villager there. Yeah, you'll see this a lot in pro games. They'll just take 3 horsemen here and 4 horsemen there. Exactly. Look, three horsemen here. Just getting some little raids, and this is where they just dink away your economy. And if you're not doing this, you see both of them are kind of doing it to each other. But if you're just sitting back, just trying to survive, you just slowly get more and more behind. B on 2 town centers. A slew of military buildings there, tons of military production. He has unlocked Golden Age Tier 2, and if you're not familiar with the Abbasid Dynasty, that gives them an additional 50% gathering rate for the resources and additional research speed. So that is of course, a great eco advantage for them. Picks off several villagers, and with that, B is ahead in the villager count despite losing 35 villagers this game. You never would have thought this. And finally, for the first time, adding some spearmen on in with the Abbasid Dynasty. Of course, the Abbasid, one of the few civs that can actually deal with man-at-arms, thanks to their camels, because they have got a high base damage. They can pierce through some of that armor. Villagers coming into this battle. I don't know if they're just cannon fodder or what. I think he's trying... that was I don't know what's going on there. They got their knives out or like bring it as he pushes these veteran archers back. Of course, the veteran archer is going to have superior stats now to B's army, so B just kind of has to outmass his opponent if he's going to take these fights while being an age behind. Horsemen going for maybe their final raid. Nope, they still got some more raiding left in them. And B has depleted this initial wood source. He's now gone to his secondary wood line. And we also see a little bit of farming coming into play. He is gathering to this berry. So north building 2 towers. On that, each tower can hold 5 villagers. So he's got safety for all of those. One horseman still. That was that final horseman. He kept it alive. And look at it. Look how annoying he's being. Wolf getting in on the action, that bitey infantry. At the front line, archers facing off. Spearmen making the Sabahi way less effective. And now the archer numbers are just starting to get crazy for B. He can pick up that meter pretty quickly when he needs to. And is B planning to age up? I mean, he's slowly getting the gold to age, slowly getting the food, but he's still staying in the second age for this foreseeable future. Currently at 66 villagers versus Dark's 59. Who would have believed that he would overcome this deficit, losing 37 villagers and still be up, losing a few villagers right now, but his archers trading blows. He just has, you know, we look, Dark has 22 archers, and they might be veteran, but B's got, what, 44 archers. He's got double the number, so whatever, it doesn't matter. And we see those towers coming into play there. Finally killed the raider as Dark is also picking up the relics. These relics going to provide a passive gold income for whoever puts them inside their moss for the rest of the game. Now I did see a market, and I don't know if he's going to actually train traders or if that was just for re-macroing, adjusting the macro. He has so many archers, he's able to actually take out these knights, which you saw right there, and camels. They've got this cool little buff right here called Camel Unease. So they make enemy horse units deal 20% less damage. Getting a little bit of a raid up there to the north as he jumps inside of his towns, his tower. So if you look at these guys, when they get close to the camels, they get a debuff essentially. But camels can get picked off pretty easily by archers as they do not have ranged armor. He has +1 ranged armor because he researched it. But okay, so we got raids up to the north. He's pushing them off of the berries, but he gets back on there. Farm is being dropped down. Don't forget, he does have that tier 2 golden age, so pretty good. A tower being dropped down to the south on the gold. He's just trying to get probably line of sight and a little bit of map control through doing that. Very much could be anyone's game still at this point. Of course, those tier 2 Ottoman upgrades are coming in, and that makes his army quite effective. A single mangonel would do so much here, so it's quite interesting that he chose to go with the Istanbul Imperial Palace, because he could have had a free mangonel by now, but maybe he just really wanted the armored units, was what he went for. And though he is picking off these knights and does have the camel, well, he doesn't have the camel on these because he killed all of them. These knights are slowly growing in numbers, and not to mention that, look at this. He's getting man-at-arms from his military school right now. So, over time, I'm not sure how long B will be able to sustain this. Right now, spearmen facing off with those knights. Archers trying to pick off the spearmen. Just so much micro from both of these players. I'm looking on the mini-map. I don't see any raids coming in right now. And, wow, we have the knights charging forward. Spearman numbers have decreased quite a bit. He still has plenty, though. Archers getting into range of those villagers. Dark looking like maybe he could pull ahead here at any moment. Of course, B is up on villagers, but he has had to make a farm transition, invest some of his resources in that way. He does have the gold to age up, but doesn't have the food count. Running around as knights, just trying to slowly pick away at B's army, because if he can get the numbers advantage, it would be GG in favor of Dark. And I do not see any trading yet, despite I know he did build a market out here, right there. Wow, this has been a hell of a game number 2. Can you believe this is the first matchup of the day for this bracket? Wow, wild. B and Dark definitely both looking extremely skilled and polished. Looks like they have their strategy and they're executing to their best. I feel like B has been kind of reacting to what Dark's been doing most of this game. We see Spearman charging the front line. There's Lancers just kind of trying to tank damage as those archers kite back. But here come the man-at-arms. 13-man arms. It's going to be quite a surge. It's interesting. I don't know if he just had him rally back. He wanted to wait and then pop them out or what. But now Dark surging in with all of these man arms and knights. What's he going to do about this? He doesn't even have camels. B's not going to be able to kill these man arms. This might be GG in favor of Dark. This is looking really, really good for him. We do have farms set up there for B. But those man arms right now messing with those villagers. It's going to be hard for him to stop them. It takes his entire archer mass to try to kill them. Wow. Ottomans really showing you why they are favored in this matchup. And with that, B taps out. 3D Dark gets points on the board against his own clan member. We've got match point coming up. Could B go out in game number 1? Will it be Dark or 3DB? This is gonna be a hell of a series, and we'll take you on through there. For you YouTube folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this cast of game. Be on the lookout for the next one, and I'll see you guys over at match point of Golden League 2.